It's a world of mystery. Do you really want to know? In our previous episode, we looked at what I thought was one of the largest timepieces or sundials or sky clocks in the world. And yet I was wrong. Join me now as I travel to a new destination. I'm going to be heading towards America and Washington, D.C. And as I enter the area, I begin to notice another very large east to west monumental construction for the seasons. But it's so much more than that because everything was set up, constructed in a perfect alignment. Now would be a good time to jump right in and let's look at the Wahington Monument. I'm going to indicate this side is east, here's west, north, south. Next up is the equatorial line, where the spring vernal equinox happens, and it also has to do with Easter, but we'll get back to that in a little bit. This is also indicating the summer solstice and the winter solstice. The equatorial line is also the point of equilibrium, the balance point of two halves. We'll come back to that word in a little bit. It'll be important as I show you more of the complex. And the north amplitude wave and the south amplitude wave of the sun when it hits the solstices. Now is a good time. I want to take a pause and show you something really cool. Now that we understand the east-west alignment, you can see the Wahington Monument here, and all the way over in a perfect line is the Capitol. What is significant about the Capitol? There is the equilibrium, the two halves in balance. Not only is it super cool, but it shows the genius in the construction of the entire area. On the spring equinox, the sun rises through the Capitol. This particular photo is off center. It's able to align the buildings, but if we were dead center, we would also see it rising through the Capitol building on the day of equilibrium. Going back to the obelisk, I'm going to show how it works like a sundial, and in this particular image that I'm showing, it does look like it is at noon, and the sun is directly south, that putting the shadow directly north, that would be about noon. And as I overlay the sundial, because the map does not appear to have numerical notations or any symbols or structures out there to really signify that this is a clock. But every obelisk can be used as a timepiece. So you can get a general idea of what time of day it is when you're there. But it's more than just a clock. To count the hours, the sun just goes in this direction and we watch it go around the obelisk, telling us the time. But to tell the seasons or the time of year is a much larger calendar. When the sun rises here in the east, it is on East Star or Easter. It is a time where the year is split in half and the sun will start rising every morning and going northward towards the summer solstice. It goes through the entire zodiac. So it looks like this: summer, autumn, winter, spring. Back to summer, autumn, winter, spring. And Aries, the constellation, is right about here. And then we can go through the zodiac of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and back, passing over into the Lamb of God, into the time of abundance, into the promised land, into spring and summer. And when the sun is in the winter and autumn, it is below the equilibrium. That is a time of harvest and of winter darkness. Since we know the line of equilibrium, we could say that in the spring and summer, the sun walks through the land of the living, and when it crosses below the equilibrium, it goes into the darkness. Some would also say the sun is traveling through the underworld. Now, where have I heard this before? Something about as above, so below. The ancient Egyptians had a story of Ra, the sun god, the Almighty, who was there at high noon and who would descend and become Set. Set had to go down and battle Osiris in the underworld. And when Set arose, he had to battle Horus, his other brother, and Horus always won the battle and became the sunrise and was able to become the almighty Ra. So it's basically a story of the day, or in deeper symbolism, it could be the story of life. It is a story of time. Looking back at our east-west alignment, we must note that on the west end is Abraham Lincoln, and on the equinoxes, he is perfectly aligned and centered and lit up and always looking at the sun. It's pretty amazing. Let's see what it says above Abraham Lincoln. In this temple, as in the hearts of the people, for whom he saved the Union, the memory of Abraham Lincoln is enshrined forever. So what is this temple? I think the temple is the entire complex with the sun shining through, illuminating different areas and giving the time of the days and years. And it's interesting, and probably no correlation, that Abraham is the first name of the person staring at the obelisk. Abraham is such an interesting first name. I'm sure there's no correlation. This is strictly speculation and mythology. In ancient Egypt, Abraham was not the name of a person, but it represented the word sun god, or sun, born out of the pyramid. And this happened, and it was part of their creation myth. Is there anywhere in this area that we could find a pyramid? Let's see. Well, I found one. It just so happens there is a pyramid, and it is the capstone of the Wahington Monument. And it may surprise you to find out that that is made out of aluminum. I think it's approximately 9 inches tall, and it is a pyramid where the sun is born. That was going to be my dramatic ending, but I can't leave this video without mentioning the owl at the Capitol building. Everybody's seen this. You can pull this up on your map. Yes, it's there, but what is its meaning? It's been mysterious to people. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, looking into ancient Egypt for a definition, it goes like this. The owl is associated with wisdom and knowledge. The owls were considered as protective and guardian figures in ancient Egypt due to its association with the night and its ability to see in the dark. Ancient Egyptians believed that there is an eternal struggle between life, day, represented by the sun, and chaos, death, and darkness, represented by the night, aimed to swallow the sun. And they believed the owls had the power to protect in the darkness and in the afterlife.